Hi guys, this is Johnny and today we're going to configure a web server on Windows 7, then install PHP and install MySQL and configure everything so you can run WordPress, Joomla and all sorts of CMS or other websites tools that you want. So my computer is currently absolutely ground zero Windows 7. I don't have anything installed. You can see that, for example, I have nothing in my programs and features. I have just .NET Framework 4.5 and that's it. Please make sure that your Windows 7 is fully updated. I only have some optional updates which you don't need because they're language packs, but make sure that everything is up to date so you don't get any unexpected errors that you won't see in this video. So the first step is to install a web server. In Windows this is called IIS, Internet Information Technology, and how to do it is to go to the control panel, go to programs, turn Windows features on or off, and this is basically a set of tools and features and roles which you can install but are by default turned off. It has more than a web server here, but for the purpose of this video we'll only use the IIS, Internet Information Services, I'm sorry, not technologies. So just wait for this one. Depending on your speed on your computer, it might run for a long time, or it might fail to run. But I'm sure if it does for you, Google will solve it quickly. I presume that it's gonna be fine for me. So yeah, what we're looking for is installing IIS. It needs CGI as well, which is an extension to the IIS, and PHP needs CGI in order to run. So yeah, this is how the menu looks like. We need Internet Information Services at the moment. Let's select it. We don't need an FTP server for now, so we're gonna leave it unchecked. As web management tools, we'll need the IIS management console, which is more than enough. So browsing through these application development features, we would need .NET extensibility. I don't think we need ASP and ASP.NET. We need CGI, we need ISAPI extensions and filters. Let's choose server-side includes as well. From this, think everything's fine. Let's put HTTP redirection, web dev publishing, it's okay. From health and diagnostics, we don't need anything special. Let's just click basic authentication. It's not absolutely needed for installing PHP or anything else, but let's just select it. So once we're ready with the selection, let's click OK, and Windows will start installing all those features. Depending on your machine, it might take a while, so I expect it to run for 1 or 2 minutes. So just pause the video and I will resume as soon as this is done. It's 11:32, so let's see for how long it's gonna run. Okay, we're back. So it only took us around a minute and a half, two, and yeah, we should be having Internet Information Services now. How to find it? I don't see it anywhere. It didn't ask me to reboot, so it's a bit hidden. Yeah, so go to the control panel, then go to System and Security, then go to Administrative Tools, and there we can see Internet Information Services Manager. Just for ease and easy access, make a shortcut on the desktop. It's gonna be worth it, or just pin it to the taskbar, it doesn't matter. So let's open our IIS Manager and let's see if we have a functional web server. Is it only this that is required for a web server to be built? Yes, it is. By now we should be having a web server. Now we're going to give it a try. At first, don't be scared to see all this. It's actually very friendly. So this is our IIS Manager. If we expand and expand sites, this is our default website. So let's go give it a try. How to access the internal website from the web server. The best choice is http://localhost. So this will try to open the web server on its local address. So let's see if something comes up. Yeah. Don't show the settings again. So we're seeing the IIS default page, which means that we're having a functional web server. By default, let's browse the manager a bit. So what we have here is a set of options that we can configure for our web server. For example, let's see where the actual files are. By default, IIS installs everything on C drive and then in a folder called inetpub, and our root directory is www.root. Here is where we want to put any files that we want to be displayed or offered on the web server. So yeah, you can see that this isstart.htm is this page actually. So, and the welcome image is this one. So we don't need them. We're gonna use it for something else, so we can delete it. See? Yeah, there's nothing to show. So our web server is working, so let's install PHP and configure it for Windows use. Guys, I'm not gonna use any predefined downloaded files or anything. I'll just do it from the web. So even if my video is 6 or 1 year old, you would still get the latest PHP, MySQL and everything using this method. So let's go to the web for the best downloads. So first we need this PHP. Let's Google, or in this case Bing. Let's Bing PHP for Windows. So this is the official PHP site. It's windows.php.net. We go to downloads, and let's look at the versions. Nowadays PHP 5.6 is the latest one, so I would choose this one. Of course, for any compatibility issues or any websites or softwares that you need that require 5.4 and don't work on the latest versions, you can choose 5.4 or 5 or 6, or even the previous ones like PHP 4 or 3. So I would choose 5.6, but I can show you guys where the archive is if you need an older version. So how usually there used to be an MSI package file where you can install PHP just like any other software with a Windows installer wizard with next and finish. But they seem to have retired it. I tried to read something about it, and I'll guys show you what I mean. So yeah, this is the website with the archives. It's again windows.php.net. So this is where they store all their versions. You can see that each version has its own MSI package, which actually allows a pretty standard installation with next finish. But at some point they seem to retire it because you can see there are no more MSIs all of a sudden. So the last version is 5.3.9, and then afterwards no MSI. I haven't read anything about it, so I assume they just discontinue the MSI package, but that doesn't bother us. We're gonna install just fine. You'll see how easy it is. Usually you're looking for a not thread safe, so this is what we're going to use. Let's download the zip file. Let's put it on the desktop. It shouldn't be big, so we shouldn't be waiting for so long for the download to come. In the meantime, let's prepare for the next step. We will need a tool developed by Microsoft to help us install PHP and manage it on a Windows operating systems, which is called PHP Manager, which is actually a pretty cool tool, and I don't think we can do it easily without it. So this is the link. I'll guys put it in the description, all of my links. So let's download it as well. So what are we going to do with the PHP zip file? So this is the what's inside. Let's select it and let's copy. So where are we going to put our PHP installation? Well, whenever it's your choice. I only have a C drive, so let's put it in C, PHP, and let's paste everything here. In the meantime, let's choose our download for PHP Manager. Do we want the 86 or the 64? I don't think it matters. I'm on a 64-bit Windows, so let's choose the 64-bit Manager. There we go. Let's put it on the desktop as well. Okay, and let's click Run. So our PHP is extracted. There's no installation or anything. We just put the files here and we can close. So it's time for the PHP Manager. Let's go and agree with the license agreement and wait for it to install. Just for your benefit, this is an iOS 7. Actually, it's actually 7.5, and the PHP Manager is for iOS 7. By the way, all the installations and everything applies to Windows 8 and Windows 10. I'm pretty sure that they haven't changed the way iOS installs on Windows 7, 8 and 10, so you could use this video for those versions of Windows as well. So the PHP Manager is now installed. Let's close the manager and let's reopen. You'll see why. There we go. This was not here before. We now have an integrated PHP Manager within our iOS Manager. Let's open. So it says that PHP is not enabled. Register new PHP version to enable PHP via fastCGI. Of course, we have only extracted the files, so there's no way for Windows to know about it. So what we can do is register new PHP version, and it will require us to show him the path. Well, we installed in C, PHP, and we're looking for the PHP CGI exe. And there we go. We've connected Windows IS with PHP. The version is 5.6. The executable path is there. The php.ini file is the configuration file. We can have some work on there if it's required. For now, we're gonna leave it. And check PHP info, default website, localhost. Let's see. Right. We seem to be having an error, and we can troubleshoot it. So what I wanted to try is I have a small folder here with just 2 files. They're nothing special. I can show you. So this is the hello world and index.html. So what we can try is go to the C inetpub, to the root for directory, and paste our first web page here. Let's give it a go. It's cached, so we refresh and hello world. So what if we want to use .php web pages? I mean, if we need to implement some PHP code, they will need to run in index.php. So I have prepared just an example for you as well. So this is index.php. If you don't have a PHP installation, this file will just not open, and even if you try in the browser, it won't work. So let me just show you guys what it looks like. It's the same as the HTML file. It just has some PHP code, which in general should say hello world. But actually, how would you know if this is a PHP one? This is a PHP page, and let's save. Okay, let's move this file to the root directory. Alright, so let's give it a try. Well, we have an error, and this is because we have some problem with fastCGI running properly on the web server at the moment, and I just might know what the problem is. if you ever encountered this error, no need for super Googles or anything. You're missing an install, and this is the Visual C++ redistributable for Visual Studio 2012 update 4, and this is the link. I also post it into the description. So this is what we're actually missing. It's very tricky. There are all sorts of posts over on Google searches and everything on the forums. This is what you need to solve this problem. Don't download the 64-bit version. Use the 32. Otherwise, it won't work at all. Let's always allow. Right, let's save it on the desktop. There we go. Let's give it a try. Okay. It shouldn't take long. So yeah, in general, this is the default error page for coming from the IIS. It's good if you read it. It's not always super helpful, but it might lead you to where the problem is. Alright, the setup is successful, so let's refresh, see if that fixed our error. Alright, hello world, this is a PHP page. So it actually opens our index.php file by default. How we can achieve that? Let's go and browse the website again. There's something called default document here. So if you're missing this one, just let's say that you don't have it. This is how your IIS looks like, because it usually does. So these are a set of instructions how IIS should treat the first web page it opens. For example, you see that localhost, and we don't specify the HTML page or the PHP. We want just a default page to open when we just enter our website address or IP address or localhost. So this is the default document, and this is how you can actually control this. We see that the index.html is here, so it will always, you can see I removed the PHP one, the PHP document, so it's gonna always choose the HTML file. So in a normal installation, just like yours, index.php will be missing from here. So let's go and add index.php. There we go. So just have in mind that this can be moved, and how they're ordered is actually a priority. So if you want, now for example, this is a perfect case. We have an index.php and index.html. We have both of them here and in the folder, in the root folder. So which one is IIS going to choose to display first? The one which is higher in the tree. So at the moment we put index.php on the top, and it should switch to the PHP version. There we go. So we have a working PHP, I would say. Let's browse the PHP manager. There's something called check PHP info, which can give an idea of what extensions are running on the PHP, some information about the version as well. So yeah, really useful. So that's it. We're done with the PHP installation. It's working fine. So the next thing we need is a database. Actually a database server. We want to create databases for more complex websites, not just HTML pages. So every page that requires some functionality will require a database, and we have the perfect solution, and I'll show you guys where to find it. It's called MySQL, and let's just go to search for MySQL for Windows. Okay, mysql.com, Windows. That's our choice. We're running on Windows. So, okay, what do we need? We need downloads, of course. Okay, we don't want the enterprise, of course, because it's paid. So let's go for the community GPL downloads, which are the free downloads. Cluster, fabric, router, utilities. We just need a community server. This is the most common one. Right, yeah, the server platform is Microsoft Windows. We want 32-bit installation. We don't want the zip archives, the debugging binaries. We just want the MSI. Right, so what's the difference between those? So one is 5.7.9.0 and this seems to be a newer version, so I'll choose this one. Right, login now or set up a free account. No thanks, just start my download. Okay, this should be our MySQL installer file. It's 371 megabytes, so let's give it some time. In the meantime, we want to have a look at the root directory. For now, we have the simple pages, so I don't think we'll need them anymore. Let's just delete it. Don't think we need this one. Close this one. So our it shouldn't be showing anything at the moment because we deleted all the files there. So yeah, nothing in the directory. So our MySQL should be ready now. Waiting for the useless security scan, and then we can run the installation. MySQL, this one especially is a free one, so you can do whatever you want with it, and it's the perfect solution to having a database server. So it's installed with an MSI package, so we're gonna follow a beautiful wizard with next, some configurations, putting users. I'll explain all the way. So this is what we need. Afterwards, we are ready for installing everything on our web server. We can do WordPress, Joomla, Drupal. We can install forum softwares like SMF, PHP, BB, basically everything. MySQL is sufficient enough to run actually on very high-end websites as well, so it's more than enough to cover our needs. Right, it unpacked all the files, so it's ready to start the installation. Let's give it a try. I don't think we need anything else from the IS, so we can close it. It's working fine, so we don't need it. Right, we accept the license agreement. Please select the startup type that suits your case. For now, we're gonna need a server only. We don't need any developer purposes or servers or anything, any special features or functions. So we just want a MySQL database server. Okay, execute. So it hasn't asked me for any path, so it assumes that it's C program files MySQL server 5.7, and that's it. So we go to next. Our server is installed, so we want to configure it. Alright, config type, default machine, server machine, or dedicated machine. This machine is dedicated to running MySQL database server, and all other servers such as web servers will be run, and MySQL will make use of all available memory. Okay, if you do it on a separate server, then your web server may be a good idea, but we're not so rich, so we're gonna choose server machine, where we have a web server here as well, and maybe something else in the future. Right, this is the port that will be used for connection to the database. You may not need it, but you can just screenshot it or something and write it down somewhere just in case you need it. Okay, root account password. By default, all the usernames, the first usernames in each MySQL database is root, so we just specify the password for the username root. If we don't like the root, we have the option to weak password. We have the option to add a user role. on our choosing, so we can do my family name, all hosts. Yeah, let's choose all hosts, not only local hosts. So what role? Actually, DBA admin is better than all those roles, so don't need to change it. Let's put a password. It's weak again. Yeah, no problem. So yeah, just in case, having a second user, so we don't use the root one always. Okay, Windows service. Configure MySQL server as a Windows service. Yeah, we would definitely want to leave that tick, because if the MySQL server is running on a service, that means that if you reboot your computer and you don't log in immediately, or just leave it like that, the MySQL server will continue to run as soon as the Windows starts. Yeah, start the MySQL server at system startup. How do you want to call the service name? I would just leave it like that. If you want to change it to some fancy name, be my guest. Run Windows service as a standard system account. I would recommend this. If you have a specific need or you're very advanced, choose a custom user and use something else. Okay, so yeah, this is what is going to happen next. So we need to click execute, and it will do whatever it's needed to apply those configurations that we just chose. Yeah, this is very important. Initializing the database, and then it will start the service. It will apply the security settings, which probably means the username I created and the password. So yeah, we're done. Configuration complete. Next. Yeah, finish. Okay, so we should be having a running MySQL server by now, but how do we know? MySQL appear here. We have nothing but a command line. So it's a bit tricky to manage your MySQL through a command line. I would recommend for people who want to be really engaged with this to learn the commandlets there, but we want something quick and easy. And there are tools, there are paid tools for you to manage your MySQL, but we're looking for something for free, so let's just go and search for. Personally, I use PHPMyAdmin. It's a free PHP tool which will manage your MySQL, so good thing we already have PHP. So let's go to the official site. Yeah, this is how it looks like. This is, for example, an advertisement, Navicat. This is, I would say, the best database manager for MySQL with the GUI and everything. You don't need to do any command lines, but you can. But of course, it's paid. So we're going to the download button and download our free PHPMyAdmin. Let's save on the desktop. So the PHPMyAdmin, it doesn't have any installation or MSI installation with next finish, but it's very easy to install. I'll show you guys. So let's open the zip file, browse, select all the files inside, copy them, and let's go and put them into our root. inet pub www root. So we don't want to place them just in the root, because, for example, PHPMyAdmin will open whenever we open the front page of our web server, and we don't want that. So yeah, it's doing something. Yeah, that's good. So as you know, or maybe you don't know, from the root folder on your web server, whether it's Linux or Windows, it doesn't matter. Everything after the dash is actually a folder on the server, a physical folder. So if you want our website / PHPMyAdmin or just PHP, we should be selecting this folder as a new folder. So PHPMyAdmin, and let's paste everything here. It's not huge, so it's gonna be quick. So let's prepare ourselves to open the web page. So we put everything in a folder called PHPMyAdmin, so it's our it's whether this is an IP address or domain name or just localhost, it doesn't matter. PHPMyAdmin, and let's wait for the files to be extracted there so something comes up, and let's see what will come up. Yeah, it's not huge, but there are a lot of files, so Windows will need more time. It's not just the size. Okay, we're done. We close this. Let's open. There we go. This is our PHPMyAdmin welcome page. So username and password. Okay, what username and password? Well, the one for our MySQL server. When we installed, we said that the root we have a root account, which is always a root, and we type the password, and I also type my own account. Let's use my own account, see if that works properly. Alright, and we're in. Yeah, this is normal. We can have some errors, but in general, if it doesn't work, it will say why. It's nothing critical most of the time, so if there's something we need to know, it will say. So this is our MySQL server actually, seen through PHPMyAdmin. So you can see the server is MySQL. It's 579. I'm logged in with a username called JohnWolf, and Microsoft is IS.7.5, and our PHP is 5.6. Our PHP version is 4.5.1, and we seem to be working fine. So let's just, from here, everything is possible. Your web server is ready for Joomla, WordPress, forums, whatever you want. Just for this, I'll show you guys how to install WordPress and maybe do some configurations. Okay, let's go and get the latest WordPress. Okay, yeah. Again, save on the desktop. I'll make a collection in the end. So yeah, let's close this one. Let's leave the PHPMyAdmin page open. So yeah, this actually, you can do some SQL queries to an existing databases. You can create databases. We will need to. So you can close this one as well. Okay, let's open the zip file, browse, select everything, copy, and let's place it into our root directory. We want, when we open the web page, to open the WordPress right away. So let's put it into the root directory. So we just extract all the files there, and we don't care about anything else. We just place them there, and we're going to do the same as the PHPMyAdmin. We're gonna open our front web page because we put it into the root directory. So let's just go with localhost again. Okay, well, that's the logo for WordPress, so we're getting somewhere. Okay, so we're gonna need some information before we install WordPress, but we are the administrators. We're setting up everything, so we know the database name, the database username, password, host, and everything. So we're going to use this information to create a WP config file. If for any reason this automatic file creation does not work, don't worry, all this goes into the database and we can manually do it. So let's just go. Okay, the database name. Know that we need to create a database name and we need to specify the name here. So how we're going to call our database? We can create it from here, the database tab, create database. Let's call it IT blog. This is what we're going to create. Okay, that's it. IT blog is created. We don't need to do any table management or anything. We just need a blank MySQL database. So it's called IT blog. We just created it. For username, we're gonna choose Django or root, and we're gonna type a password. Shame it shows the password and it doesn't hide it. Database host. If your MySQL server and your web server are on the same machine, Windows 7 or server machine, just leave it localhost. If not, you can specify the IP address of the machine where the MySQL server is installed. Table prefix, I don't see why changing this, so let's go on submit. Okay, sorry, but I can't write the WP config file. Yeah, that's because it doesn't have permissions on the NTFS file, which is here. It should create one, but it doesn't have the permissions, so you can create wp-config.php manually and paste the following text into it. Okay, let's do it. New file, text document, let's select the whole. Okay, we can open with Notepad, but I wouldn't choose, always use the select program just for inconvenience. Okay, we need to paste everything from here, copy, paste, and save, and run the install. Alright, welcome to the famous 5-minute WordPress installation process. Just fill in the information below and you'll be on your way to using the most extendable and powerful personal publishing platform in the world. Indeed. So actually your WordPress is ready. It means that the database is accessible and that it has written tables in it. Let's actually give it a try. Let's see what's inside. No tables found, which is a bit weird. Oh no, this is, yeah, it's indeed empty. Oh, maybe it will install the tables now. Okay, let's give it a site title, IT block. You can change it later. So username and password, these are not for the MySQL server, these would be only for the WordPress, and this will create an administration account for the WordPress, so it doesn't have anything to do with MySQL or PHPMyAdmin, so choose a new one. I'll do the same, of course, because we are confirm of use pattern, no. Your email, it's blah blah at blah blah.com. Allowing search engines to index this site. Yeah, if you don't want to, don't. Okay, let's install. Okay, success. WordPress has been installed. We're expecting more steps. Sorry to disappoint. Yeah, they have a sense of humor. Alright, let's see if we actually have something here. Let's refresh. Alright, we see that actually the installation filled in 11 tables for users, user meta, temps, posts, and everything. Okay, so we can actually log in with the username, don't forget it, otherwise you have to reinstall Jungov and the password. Let's give it a try. Let's do some WordPress configuration. I'll show you guys the permissions as well. Oh, it's not that password. Let's try this one. Yeah, okay, so this is our WordPress dashboard, the administration dashboard. If you click here, let's just do it in a new tab. This is how your blog looks like, and behind it's the administration panel, which looks like this. You can do posts, add new categories, posts, media, pages, comments, install plugins, create settings and everything. So yeah, this is how it looks like for now. So what do we have here? We need to update one plugin. Alright, let's do it. Okay, so why are you asking for hostname, FTP username and FTP password? I think FTP is way too old for us to use to update our WordPress or our plugins. So what I actually mean by that is that it doesn't have permissions to install to update the plugin. So that's why the plugins are here. So it basically needs this directory to be writable. So in Linux and Apache is really easy. You just go and put 777 or 747 or whatever permissions you want. But how do you do it in Windows? I mean, not many guys know actually, which amazes me. So yeah, what we need is go to Properties, Security tab, and these are our NTFS permissions. But which one do we need to change in order to play with the permissions? So yeah, it's actually users. Yeah, I know. So what we need to do is actually give it right permissions, and let's try again. Let's see if that was sufficient enough. All right. Oh no, not enough. So let's go again. So probably it will need to create some directories and everything. So let's just give it some more permissions. Let's give users modify permissions and apply. Okay, let's try again. No, it doesn't work. So yeah, not just on the plugins. We do it another way. I just remove any permissions that we gave before, so we leave it just like it used to be. Let's just go and just for the time being, just for the update, go into the security tab, go to users, and let's just give modified just for the update, and then we can bring them back so we don't expose our WordPress to any security vulnerability. You see, schema updated successfully. This is what, so just go back, remove. If you remove the right, it will remove the modify as well. Just click apply, and you're only on read permissions again. And the next time you need to update, just do this again, update, close back, remove the permissions, and you're ready. So in order to install some plugins, you might need to tweak some of the folders, but it won't be a problem. You now know what to do with the permissions in a Windows environment and how to play with them. Whenever you need to set up something and it says that it doesn't have permissions, you now know what to do. So yeah, your WordPress is ready to go, and you can do whatever you want with it. If you need anything any new WordPresses or anything else, you just go to my PHPMyAdmin, go to the databases and create as many as you want. So thank you guys for watching, and I hope it was interesting.